Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and in today's video, Jerry and I are going to take you through a little tour here at the nursery in the area that we affectionately call the Pines, because as you know, if you've been watching us for any amount of time, you know that we have a great relationship with a lot of different plant companies, plant nurseries, and they have been sending us samples for us to trial. So the best way to trial a plant is to actually stick it in the environment and let it go and see how it does. So this past week, my mama and I have gone through all of these great plants that we have received in the last, 9 months or so, and we're planting them out into different beds here at the nursery. So we're going to walk through and I'm going to show you the different plants that we have already planted, and then talk about the areas that are still yet to be planted, because we got a good start but we have not finished yet. So here we are again at the Pines at the nursery. This is the area where we have predominantly a lot of our shade perennials are for sale. The nursery, of course, is right here. This is our sun area. As you move further in, the shadier it gets. So we've been blessed with a lot of hydrangeas being sent to us. So we decided to create this area that's really going to become the hydrangea trial garden, especially for those macrophylla hydrangeas. Those are the ones that need some protection from the hot sun. So this is kind of, if it needs more sun, it goes that way. If it needs more shade, it comes this way. So first we planted, this is not a gift, but this was just a great idea. This is an Alice oak leaf hydrangea. Of course, the oak leaf hydrangeas get nice and huge and big. You don't want to prune them because you just want to let them go so she can just fill up this area and be an anchor. So then, working around our dry creek bed here, because we do, when we get a lot of water, rain, this fills up. So we have this dry creek bed, and around through here we have 6 or 7 different hydrangeas that we're trialing out. And if you will notice, I think all of them, there's one panicle hydrangea over there, but all the macrophylla hydrangeas are just covered in buds. So it's really fun and it's really exciting. And of course, we will come back and show you these hydrangeas as they are growing and as they are blooming. But you can just see, so this one is the Tough Stuff Aha. This is a Proven Winners Tough Stuff Aha. We have Aha here, and then we have Tough Stuff right beside of us. So the Tough Stuff series are lace cap hydrangeas, but look at that. They are just absolutely covered in blooms. These both are going to be the color of the hydrangea, the bloom, will be based on the pH of the soil. So we have really kind of acidic soil, so these will most likely be in that blue purple range. Right now these look very, very similar. I mean, they all look similar, honestly. So once they actually start to bloom, that will be the fun, is to see what is the difference between Tough Stuff Aha and just Tough Stuff. So all of these hydrangeas are going to be rather petite. Now this one is from, let me think. Let me make sure before I talk, this is not, because I was going to get ahead of myself. Oh, yes, this is the Proven Winners, the Let's Dance series, and this is the Big Band. Again, look at all of those buds on there. So exciting. Again, Big Band is going to be a very nice petite, very manageable, and they will do great in obviously the landscape and or containers. So if you don't have an area where you can put your hydrangea in the ground, maybe you live in a small, like a condo or an apartment, a townhome, and you don't have a lot of land, but you've got a patio space, these would be great to put in a nice large container, and then you get your hydrangeas. This is the one from Southern Living, and this is Heartthrob. Now, Heartthrob is going to be a nice mop head hydrangea. It's going to have lots of red tones in it, and it's already got some buds on it also. And right before we started filming, because you know how we keep it real around here, here at the nursery we'll do special orders for people. So right behind Jerry is a nice tall red maple that's already, gosh, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet tall. And it's been really windy here in the spring, and it just fell on it. So it kind of took out part of my hydrangea. So even here, you know, things happen, life happens. You know, a limb could fall on it, a potted tree falls on it, but that's all right. That's the beautiful thing about these hydrangeas is even though this poor little stem just got demolished and this one got a little bit crushed, over time, it's all right. These will be fine. You know, yeah, I probably lost a couple of blooms, but no big deal. So Heartthrob from Southern Living. This will be really fun to watch because it's supposed to, like I said, have that really pretty red mop head. Now, here are 2 new fun ones from Proven Winners. So we have Wee Bit Giddy and Wee Bit Grumpy. Now, in all honesty, when you're looking at the pictures and you're looking at the description, it's going to be really hard to kind of tell what the difference is between Giddy and Grumpy. Obviously, they're wee bits, so they're going to be nice little petite hydrangeas in that mop head family also. So putting them right beside each other, we can see exactly what is the difference between Giddy and Grumpy. Again, they are both covered in buds, so before long we'll be able to tell the difference between Giddy and Grumpy. Again, going to be a little bit more based on their pH level of the soil, then they will give us those different bloom colors. But again, honestly, I'm just ready to see in person what is the difference between Giddy and Grumpy and how does that apply to the life here in North Carolina. And then finally, this is not a new hydrangea, but this is going to be a great little area to put this. This is Little Quickfire. Little Quickfire, again, is from it's from Proven Winners, rather, and it is a panicle hydrangea. So it's the only panicle hydrangea in this area. Panicles need more sun, so I put her closer to kind of the pergola shopping area because the sun actually sets over here, so she's going to get more sun than the guys in the back. Beautiful, nice, petite hydrangea as far as the panicles go, because remember, panicles can get nice and big. So this is Little Quickfire in that 3 to 5 foot range. Really pretty white blooms that will turn to a red. So if you've never seen a Little Quickfire and you're coming to the nursery, then there you go. We have it. And then, you know, as if the plant companies decide to continue to send us some more hydrangeas, of course we can work it in and just kind of expand this area out. But again, I wanted to create this whole area so that when customers come, of course they'll see them, but then that they can like get up close and touch them and see what the difference is, because that's what the whole point, in my opinion, of a trial garden is. 1, how do they actually grow in our environment? And then 2, we need to be able to touch them and see them and feel them and really just get our eyes and hands on them. So that is the idea with these hydrangeas. This is going to be the hydrangea kind of bed. Then over here, and you can still see we haven't cleaned up our mess yet. Over here we decided to create a euchera bed. So eucheras or corabelles are fantastic perennials. Walters Gardens has sent us these, and some of these are brand new, have not even hit the market, and some have been on the market for a while. But again, we wanted to see exactly when you put them in the ground, how do they do not only for a season, but for year after year. I will tell you, of course, here we are underneath the large pine trees. My mama and I went back and forth. Do we build this bed up and bring in kind of new garden soil, or do we just plant directly into the ground? And we decided we're going to keep it real. We planted straight into the ground. We used an auger to dig up those holes because like we're literally at the trees. So we had to break up some pine tree roots, not anything too massive. We really found the path of least resistance. And so even if we said we're going to put this here and there was a big root, we kind of moved over 6 inches and put it there. Eucheras sometimes can be challenging in the south because, of course, of the intense hot afternoon sun, but also our nights. Our nights are just, they stay hot and humid, especially in the summer. July and August into September, our nights just do not cool down. They stay really hot and sticky. And so plants don't get a break from that intense heat and humidity the euchras really can show that. So a lot of what I like to use are villosa species of euchras because that's a native plant to the southeast. So through here, they're all euchras except for here in the center, we did a Sun King spikenard because we've talked about this guy before. He will get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. I just thought this would be a nice specimen to go here, but in the center of the bed. And of course it blends in beautifully with these euchras, so it will fill in and get nice and big. This way customers can see it. I don't have one planted here at the nursery. I have it at the house and I love them, but I wanted to put it here so that customers can see it. So of course we have the beloved Black Pearl. Black Pearl is a classic from Proven Winners. It can do sun or shade. Just those nice, deep, deep purple leaves that really take on a black hue. Now, you will notice that we did Black Pearl right next to Smoke and Mirrors. So this is a brand new one from Walters. It's not even in their catalog yet. I'm absolutely in love with this euchra. So when I was talking to the sweet folks at Walters when they came to visit us, we decided that really I was going to plant it in a lot of different locations because when they send me plants, they send me 5 of everything. So I've got this one here in the shade. It'll get some filtered sun. I've got one in a pot that will get shade up until the intense hot afternoon sun. I'll plant one in complete shade, one with morning sun, back and forth to see really where does it do the best. But the color on this euchra is absolutely glorious. I am madly in love with this euchra. Again, that is Smoke and Mirrors from Walters Gardens. Truly a trial plant for this year. Now, moving next door, here is a new euchra from Proven Winners and Walters. This is going to be in the new, brand new series. It's the first one of a series from Proven Winners in the Dressed Up series. So this is Evening Gown. Evening Gown, if you notice next or compared to Black Pearl, it has huge, massive leaves. I mean, the presence is just huge. It's a deeper, richer color, but just the sheer size of these leaves are what really set it apart. Again, glorious. And this is one that came to us back in the fall, and the shipment had just been destroyed. I mean, it went through, I don't remember if it was FedEx or UPS gymnastics, and they were all over the place. And look at it now. It survived and did great. So we have Evening Gown. Then we have the beloved Lemon Love. Lemon Love we've been growing for years. This is from Walters. It gets huge, a nice bright green. Then this one is Tapestry, I believe. This one is Tapestry. So again, beautiful, rich color. This one spent the whole season in a pot because I had it at the shade garden. So it's been through it, but it's doing great. And then over here we have some reds. So some reds and burgundy colors. This one is Toffee Tart, Dolce Toffee Tart from Proven Winners. And it's living up to its name, don't you think? I mean, look at that nice, rich color, a little bit of green, but those nice, just a toffee color, and you can see that it's going to have white blooms. Now, euchras or corabels, they do bloom, but really the whole point of the plant is to have that beautiful foliage. Next here we have beside of me, this is their Fun and Game series. This is Red Rover. And Red Rover really does have a red hue to it. Red Rover, then this is Hopscotch, still part of that Fun and Game series. I mean, you know, Red Rover. Send euchras right over. And then Hopscotch, of course, has more of kind of an orange tone to it. Really pretty variation in the leaves, dark centers, dark veins. It's just doing great. And then here, this is one that we have had for years, came from Terra Nova. This is Delta Dawn. Delta Dawn, again, gosh, Jerry, we've had this thing for 4 or 5 years, and it's been in a pot. It has been moved around and around and around, and so we have put her here again to see how she's doing. You can see she has little white, yellow blooms on her, and so doing great. So again, as we get more eucharis, we will fill this in. I will get nice tags and put names on the plants so that when you come to visit, you can really see what they are, take notes. Hopefully we'll be able to have things for sale for you. But that's just the thing, like, you know, when you have these trial garden beds, maybe I planted like this Delta Dawn. We bought it, I don't know, we had it in stock 4 or 5 years ago. Currently I don't have it in stock, but it's just, again, this is for inspiration, for you to see how things are going. And maybe you have, you know, you're under trees and you want to create a bed. You don't have to spend a ton of money bringing in dirt. You can just go right into the soil that you have. Of course, we did biotone everything when we put it in, and then we did do some land and sea compost around each plant, but that was it. Get it well watered in. We'll have to watch them for this first season to make sure that they're really well established with the watering, and then after that, I'm really gonna kind of leave them alone. Again, hence the trial garden. You're gonna make it or you're not. Now, let's go this way because I wanna show you what the next big project is, and we're gonna tiptoe through the nursery here. We had an amazing weekend, cleaned us out of a ton of plants. So if you see holes, please forgive us. We'll restock as we go through the week. But if you remember Lemon Love that was over in that trial garden, look, this is a Lemon Love that we have had in this pot this will be its 3rd or 4th year that it's been in here. I do nothing to this plant. It just sits in the container, it gets watered, but during the winter, it stays right here. It does get the hot afternoon sun, as you can see, and it does great. It's getting ready to bloom. But the area that we're really gonna spend some attention and some focus on is this space from the bridge all the way around to over here to the area that we have affectionately deemed as Laras Bed. So if you remember back in the fall, late fall, we did a video for Laura and Aaron over at Garden Answer. This was on their highlights channel, and we created this whole bed. We planted it with Proven Winners shrubs. This area has been an eyesore for a couple of years. We want to dress it up. So we did that. Now we're going to work our way this way. We're going to fill it in both this area and in Laura's bed, because we said when we planted it, we were putting the bones in. So we've got azaleas and loropetalums and hydrangeas and the forsythia. There's tons of plants in there. I'll link that video up above and down in the description so you can check out that video. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill in the area with all the great perennials that Walters has sent us. So I have got, gosh, like 5 or 6 different varieties of Monarda or bee balm. We've got Shasta daisies, we've got baptisas, we've got sedums galore, we've got veronicas and, oh gosh, Jerry, Amsonias, all sorts of wonderful, great perennials that will give us, you know, just year-round color and interest. So this is gonna be an area that we're gonna be working on, filling in, and kind of showing you kind of some ideas and strategies on how to plant these and where to plant them. Because remember, this area from the top of the bed is really dry, and as you get lower, it gets wet. So we've got all sorts of different growing conditions in here, but we've got a lot of work to do. There's a bunch of weeds in there we've got to get rid of, and the soil right here is awful. I mean, it's bad. It's really hard red clay. So we'll talk about, you know, if you're going to create that new bed, what are you going to do, all those kinds of things. So this will be an ongoing project for quite a while, but we're going to get those perennials into the ground as soon as we possibly can. That way they can start growing and have a great season, and that everybody can kind of see them and get an idea, so that way next year we know how to order for those perennials. But again, you know, through this whole area at the nursery, our idea, our inspiration, like through this area down here. So this is kind of the back side. Jerry's standing on the bridge all the way through. So down here, you can see that's where the hydrangeas are, then the euchre back there. But we want to create gardens of all these different plants so that you can get ideas and inspiration for your space. You know, what is it that your conditions in your garden, so you can come here and get ideas. Now, we've talked about this before, that in our aqua pots, we had them chocked full of tulips for the spring season. And in one of the last videos we did, I talked about how tulips do not last for us. I treat them as annuals, and that when they're done, we take them out and we toss them. And if you're not in the South, people are thinking, gosh, my gosh, you're so wasteful. Why are you not saving your tulip bulbs? They don't last. They just don't last. They truly are a one-season plant, one-season bulb. But what is not a one-season bulb is down here. So all of these beautiful bulbs that you see, these are jonquils, daffodils. For us, it has to be a daffodil, or the narcissi, has to be the jonquil species, because jonquils, again, can handle the heat and humidity. So these guys are not going to be an annual. They're going to be a perennial for us. And in fact, not only going to be a perennial, but they're going to naturalize. So they are going to fill in this area and give us beautiful color year after year after year. So again, it's all about knowing what are your growing conditions. What things do you treat as annuals? What are perennials? What is something, maybe a plant that we have here that grows really well in the North Carolina? Maybe it's a fantastic plant for us, but in your area it's a pest and it's a nuisance. So that's why you've got to be a great steward and a student of your garden to understand what grows, blooms, and thrives in your space, because what grows in my space can be completely different than yours. So that's why it's just important, you know, to be a student and a good steward of your garden, and to look around and to explore and to learn and to talk to other gardeners, visit those botanical gardens in your area, get great ideas. But again, that is kind of what we're doing here at Creekside Nursery. Is we're putting these plants in the ground, seeing how they do. Some of them are going to do great and we're going to love them, and they're going to become some of our new favorites. Others are going to go, and maybe not do so well. Again, that is the whole point of a trial garden, is to see what does well and what doesn't do well. As always, we hope that you have been inspired. Thank you for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.